Good evening, Metal Faithful. It is I, your mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and this is the Metal Hammer of Doom. It's a yearly tradition here on the Metal Hammer of Doom. When we get to the month of October, because October is Halloween, you wear costumes on Halloween. When a band covers a song, it's like that song is wearing a costume. Get it? Do you get it? Covers are like songs wearing a costume for Halloween. So, with that stretch of logic, I like to devote the month of October to just cover albums. And there's usually a handful that come out over the course of a year. This year was just kind of crazy, and we couldn't do the entire month. But I held on to, initially I had 4 or 5 for the month of October, and for one reason or another, I had to cut half of them. But we kept this one, by Godfrey. We kept Monster Magnet, A Better Dystopia, which came out on May 21st, 2021 on Napalm Records. It is their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th studio album. If you don't know who Monster Magnet are, they're an American rock band hailing from Red Bank, New Jersey. Welcome to New Jersey, you fucks! The group was founded in 1989 by Dave Windorf, who's on vocals and guitar, John McBain on guitar, Tim Cronin vocals and drums. They have since gone through several lineup changes, leaving Windorf as the only constant member. Monster Magnet released 10 studio albums prior to this. They are best known for their 1990s hit Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Space Lord Mother Mother. The band has also been credited for developing and popularizing the stoner rock genre, along with Masters of Reality, Caius, Fu Manchu, Sleep, and of course the best, the greatest, the most popular band no one's ever heard of, the kings of stoner rock themselves, Clutch, who we are obsessed with on the Radulich Broadcasting Network. I am not alone tonight. I am, of course, joined by the original second chair. Yes, the man who helped me found this podcast in the early years. We are dropping a lot of old material, and Robert Cooper has been on them all. Ladies and gentlemen, the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper. How do you do, sir?
I do quite splendidly. This feels like a blast from the Radulich past.
Yeah.
Except I'm not in my mom's house anymore. It's pretty great.
I was going to say, can we get like a neighbor to lock you in your basement because you're being too loud?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, my mom locking me in the laundry room. Even better.
Yeah.
I'll invite her over. She can just lock me in a room, and I mean, this is a trailer, so I could probably just kick the door hard enough and it'll go flying off. But
we gotta play all the old hits. You have to tell me about a band that I've never heard of with a terribly offensive name like John Cougar Concentration Camp. You have to tell me about all your failed dates. Your mom has to lock you in the closet, and I have to pass out and fall asleep. That way we get all the hits in.
I mean, it'll be great. Did I ever tell you about? Oh, everybody knows about Anal Cunt.
Sure. I mean, who hasn't heard of Anal Cunt?
What about Anal Blast?
Is there really a band called Anal Blast?
There is a band called Anal Blast, yes.
Fantastic. Let me ask you a question, Coop. Very important question before we lose everybody in the audience, because people can't wait the 5 minutes for us to do table setting and funnery to get to the actual album. How much Monster Magnet are you familiar with? Do you go back to the old days of the early Monster Magnet stuff with Space Lord Mother Mother?
The only Monster Magnet song I know involves slapping tomatoes.
You're going to have to fill me and the audience in on that reference.
So wrestling fan, especially in the mid-2000s, was when I was obsessed with professional wrestling. And the professional wrestler Matt Hardy has Monster Magnet's theme song.
Oh yeah! Yeah, when he was like Matt Hardy 2.0, and they would do like fun Matt Hardy facts.
Yeah, and they would, I could slap a tornado, except if it just kind of sounds like I could slap a tomato. I can try to foresee it.
You know what the problem with that is?
It's one of those,
You know what the problem with that is? That a tomato is a euphemism for a hot girl. You know, a voluptuous girl. You know, like ripe tomatoes, voluptuous girl. Get it? Do you see the connection?
I do.
So if you're like sitting there talking about, singing about slapping tomatoes, that might be like a euphemism for domestic violence. Hey now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What am I, a sci-fi show on Fox? I don't want to be canceled.
All right. Well, let's get one of our plugs out of the way early then, because I want to get your learn on, sir. Okay? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? We're going to go over to the old AmazonMusic.com, and we're going to play a little bit of the best of Monster Magnet. How do you feel about that?
I don't know if my loins can handle that.
Okay, well, here we go. 30 seconds apiece. The best of Monster Magnet. Let's go.
Space Lord, mother. There's a car in the field now in a column of flame with its 2 doors to choose, but only one bears your name.
Always before you tapped in to a cosmic plane, you copped the gig I was looking for, yeah.
Planting the seed of my perfume in your head. Well, I've wasted enough of my time on the edge of forever. You got the chance, how you do it my way. Well, baby's no doubt.
All right, so that Monster Magnet medley, which actually comes directly from the Best of Monster Magnet 20th Century Masters, the Millennium Collection, was brought to you by AmazonMusic.com. And we are actually giving a free 30 days of the Amazon Music's unlimited service by clicking the link in this podcast. Get AmazonMusic.com/W2M Network. And then you can check out the new Monster Magnet, the old Monster Magnet, the blue Monster Magnet. If you like the service, you keep it. You pay the monthly fee like you would for Spotify or Apple Music. If you don't, you can cancel. No fuss, no muss, no problems there. It's a great service, though. Like I said, we just look at what just happened, Robert Cooper. Do you understand the enormity of what just occurred?
The fact that I just got to experience a band that I had been wholly missing in my life.
Yes, sir. And if you had the Amazon Music Unlimited service, you could have checked out all the Monster Magnet for free, and then you could decide whether or not you want to continue to listen to this band or not. Isn't that wonderful?
I really feel like this was what was missing from my life. You know, no worry about advertisements or finding really bad virus-ridden downloads on Livewire.
That's right.
Just a one full free month of Amazon goodness.
Shit, yeah, buddy. All right, so check out getamazonmusic.com/W2M Network for your free 30-day trial. All right, moving on. So what'd you think of the little bit of Monster Magnet I played for you?
Dude, I thought it was groovy as hell. Like, I really...
Shit, yeah, man.
Yeah, like, I really enjoyed that. And I think, honestly, something, and this is going to sound silly, that kind of turned me off of the band initially was the lead singer's mustache. I think it pissed me off.
That's funny. All right, so let's get into this new album here. This is A Better Dystopia. And it's funny, I have up the Riffipedia Stoner Rock Wiki, and it says A Better Dystopia is the 11th studio album by Monster Magnet, which was released in May via Napalm Records, as I said before. It was recorded in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic, and it would be the first album to feature bassist Alec Morton. The album would notably be covers comprised of songs by bands from the late 60s and early 1970s. So this is like right in their wheelhouse, and this is the kind of thing I really, really enjoy. It's one of the things, like, if I was going to do one covers album this year, this was going to be the one. So this is actually 13 tracks. We're going to cut the first track because it's like, what Jesse described it sounds like an Ultimate Warrior promo.
Yeah, and you know what? This is going to sound really silly and show how much research I did coming in. I listened to this album 3 times. I didn't know this was a covers album.
Yeah, these are not particularly well-known songs. I mean, a couple of them, like, there's a couple of them that sounded a little bit familiar to me, but, and we'll go through these one by one, but just look at some of these bands on here. Hawkwind. When was the last time anyone heard a Hawkwind album? Yeah,
I've heard of Hawkwind, and I love it.
Yeah, sure, we all have, but no one's actually listened to Hawkwind. There's J.D. Blackfoot, The Scientist, Macabre, Poobah. You ever heard some Poobah?
I've heard Hoobah Stank.
Hoobah Stank.
Not
Jerusalem.
the Hoobah.
Not the Hoobah Stank. Pretty Things, Josephus, The Cavemen, Straight to Hell, or rather the Table Scraps, Dust, Morgan. I mean, like, honestly, they could have made half of this shit up. We would never have known.
Yeah, they could have called themselves, like, I don't know, like, fuck, I was just trying to remember the fucking band from Jabberjaw, and I could not remember.
Ham Sandwich the band.
Yeah, Horse the band. Wait, that is a band. Damn it.
That is a real band, my friend. All right, so let's get into it. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All righty. So we're going to hear the first 3 tracks off of here. We've got Born to Go, Epitaph for a Head, and Solid Gold Hell. All right, so that was Born to Go by Hawkwind. Believe I have heard before. Epitaph for a Head by J.D. Blackfoot, which I have not heard before. And Solid Gold Hell by The Scientists. What did you think of those three songs?
I actually really dug what they were putting on. One of these songs straight up reminded me of the 60s Batman theme.
I think it was in Epitaph for a Head where where he kind of like pulls on the guitar strings. You get that wah, and I just wanted to blurt out, "Wham bam, thank you, ma'am."
It came off as like dun 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 dun, and I'm like, oh yes, Batman.
Adam West, there you are.
Yeah, Mayor Adam West. Who names
Indeed.
a cat Paul?
His name is Paul. That's a human name. Yeah, the fun about this album, and you kind of you outright said it wasn't even an illusion. You know, you're like, yeah, you could have fooled me. I didn't realize these were all covers because these are such obscure, like, I mean, God, when you think about, there's a really fun TikTok meme where it's like, oh, kids in school are now referring to the 90s as the late 1900s, and it's like, y'all are assholes. But when you, so think about that, right? We were talking about James Bond last night, and I think his first... Daniel Craig's first movie was, 2006 or something like that? This is early 2000... It's been 20 years, just about. 15
Holy
years.
shit.
Yeah, he's been doing this for 15 years.
Yeah, and that's a lot longer... That was longer than Pierce Brosnan by far, right?
Yeah, much longer. I mean, he did 5 films in that time. I think Pierce Brosnan did 4 or 5 films, too. In any case, but I think it was a shorter... There was less time in between films. Point being that, it's the 1990s were 20 to 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
I mean, I was born in 91, and I'll be 30 this year.
So think about how long ago the 60s and 70s were. Ancient time. It's like when I was growing up, if anyone referred to, the 40s and 50s, it seems like, God, they couldn't have even been people then. You know? The 50s, what was Jesus walking around? You know?
Yeah. How was the discovery of the wheel?
So, we all know the classics that came out of the 60s and 70s. You know, we know Elvis, and we know Black Sabbath, and we know Led Zeppelin. But there was shit tons of music back then that's, lost to the ages now. And, you don't know it, I don't know it. And so you hear an album like this is the point. And it's these all sound like new songs. Like you could have fooled me and said Monster Magnet just wrote these from pure cloth, and they didn't. These are I don't know how much. I mean, I presume at some point in their lives they listened to this kind of music. I don't know how old these guys are. I know they were big. Let's see, their first album drops, Spine of God drops in the year you were born, 1991, in the year of our Lord. And I think their big hit, Dopes to Infinity, which one had Space Lord on it? This one had Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and that was 1995. Let's see here, Dopes to Infinity, Power Trip. Yeah, so their big hit, the one that I was most familiar with, the one that really introduced me to the band, was Space Lord. That comes out in 1998.
Back when I was listening to boy bands.
So I was just actually on their Wikipedia page. Tracks used in popular culture. Power Trip was used in the film Soldier with Kurt Russell. Power Trip was the theme song for the WWE pay-per-view event No Way Out in 2007. Space Lord was in the film Talladega Nights. Crop Circle was in Urban Legend. See You in Hell was in Bride of Chucky. Power Trip was in the game Motorstorm, and Power Trip was also in the video game Far Cry 5. How about that?
Huh. See, I was really thinking that they needed to be in a Tony Hawk game.
I'm sure they were somewhere.
I mean, I feel like that's perfect.
Were Tony Hawk games known for their stoner rock?
Oh, they had some pretty killer stoner rock. I mean, a lot of it was your Power Man 5000 and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, they had some good stoner rock in there.
Huh. One of the guys
Yeah.
from Monster Magnet, it was previously in Monster Magnet, joined the Atomic Bitchwax. You ever hear of the Atomic Bitchwax?
I have not. I've heard of Alabama Thunder Pussy, though.
Well, I mean, who hasn't heard of Alabama Thunder Pussy?
What about Goblin Cock?
I mean, doesn't everyone own a copy of Goblin Cock?
I mean, to be fair, everybody should, if they don't already.
Okay, well, the Atomic Bitchwax is an American rock band also from New Jersey, and they play heavy metal, hard rock, stoner rock, and psychedelic rock. And I actually have heard of them, believe it or not.
Yeah, I've heard of them, but that's about as far as I get.
Are you just not like a big stoner rock person?
It's one of those that, like, stoner metal was definitely something more that I got into as I started delving into metal.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, really stoner rock kind of just wasn't heavy enough in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, yeah, it just never really got to catch on like I really think it should have, probably.
So, despite the fact that Monster Magnet has, counting this one, 11 albums, their only, the only album that went gold was Power Trip, which is the one with Space Lord on it. And in the U.S., it was their highest charting album. The rest of them don't even, like, chart. This one charted at 97. Power Trip did, rather. God Says No charted at 153. Mastermind, 165. Last Patrol, 188. Though now we actually reviewed a different album on here a couple of years ago on the Metal Hammer of Doom. We reviewed Mindfucker.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
No, you were not. That was a me and Jesse joint. They do pretty good in Europe, though. They've had in Sweden. Ikea is from Sweden.
Ikea's from Sweden.
Yes, I like meatballs. Monolithic Baby actually charted at number 7 on the Swedish charts, and Mindfucker charted at number 9 on the U.S. Independent chart. So that's pretty cool. You ready to hear another 3 songs?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do it. Here we go. We've got Be Forewarned, Mr. Destroyer, and When the Wolf Sits.
As I awake in the darkness and I look around, there is no sound. It's so tranquil, it's so calm like you. Now I hear a noise. Is there any way out of this nightmare? I'm alone now, and you're laughing at me, but I take life in a way that you could never see. So if you're leaving, you better let me know, 'cause I've already started my plan, and I'm never gonna let you go. No, I lived on the dark side of the moon, and I've been to the heart of the sun. Yeah. I've been to bed with many ladies. I killed many a man before my 16th year was done. So you be forewarned, 'cause I'm coming after you. Yeah!
Oh my god, I love that one. When the Wolf Sits, that's so good. And Mr. Destroyer, I was getting some serious Ozzy vibes from.
Mm-hmm. And I finally heard my Batman song.
Okay. Was that Be Forewarned?
I think so. Like in the chorus, and it was just like, Batman!
Yeah, I get that. So, those three there, that was Be Forewarned, was from Macabre. Mr. Destroyer was Poobah. And When the Wolf Sits was Jerusalem. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. You know, I had this on the other day. I was working on the W2M site, and I was doing some other stuff, just sitting at my computer doing some odds and ends, and I had this going, and I have to say, like, this is one of the few albums I've listened to like on repeat, where if I'm focusing on it, there's definitely some distinctive stuff about each song, but as background music, it was something where like I never was like, when is this going to be over so I can move on to a different sound? Like, I heard this on a loop for like an hour or two before I finally either stopped or did something, moved on, whatever it was that I did. You know, I think it's like it's a jamming record to have on just like in the background.
Yeah. I mean, that was my experience with it, really. Like, I just felt like, you know, it just kept kicking out the fucking jams.
It did. All right. So, let's see here. Let's go ahead and play another 3 songs here if you don't have a whole lot more to say. But when we come back, maybe let's try to find some reviews of this thing. Let's see what as I like to say to Jesse, but what does the angry metal guy think?
I'll have to ask him.
Is he there in the room with you?
Yes. He's my uncle.
Okay. Alrighty, let's move on to the next 3 songs here. Kind of a brief interlude to move on to the next thing. We've got Death, The Situation, and It's Endless Trash! It's trash.
Heavy stones on your face. Your sonnets of life, they are filling the case. High windows inside me look down on your face. Changing white fingers for men in the sand. Burning bright spears that you hold in your hand. Great children you spawn, they just won't understand.
endless trash.
Eat shit.
What'd you think of that one?
Man, I really dug some of those. Eat shit is a very good Christian song to play when somebody cuts you off in traffic.
Well, let's get a review here, and this review is brought to you by Grammarly. Now, I know when you used to write for 411, when you used to do papers for school when I first met you, when you were in school, I bet you used to use the Grammarly, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know what Grammarly was. But that's not the point. That's not the point. If I did know, I would have used Grammarly.
That's right, goddammit, because Grammarly's AI-powered products help people communicate more effectively. Grammarly helps you write mistake-free on Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and nearly everywhere else you write on the web. Grammarly corrects hundreds of grammar, punctuation, and spelling mistakes while also catching contextual errors, improving your vocabulary, and suggesting style improvements. To download Grammarly today, go to getgrammarly.com/W2M Network. Again, that's getgrammarly.com/W2M Network to download Grammarly for free. All right, so I got one review here. It's from Blabbermouth, who I tend to... This tends to be one of the blogs that I favor. We're looking for metal news and album release information and all of that. They're pretty good. I can't think of a time where I read something on Blabbermouth and was like, what the hell, man? I think like them and Metal Injection are the two I frequent the most for. Do you have a favorite one? Do you have like a favorite metal site to go to?
Yeah, when I was writing the news column, Blabbermouth was the one I always used.
Yeah.
I mean, they typically were just kind of involved with most of the metal world. I really didn't find there to be, any times where I felt like they were so far out of line that I really couldn't patronize their site more.
So they gave it an 8.5 out of 10, so obviously they liked it a lot. By the way, they also reviewed the new Gus G. They gave that a 7.5. The new Trivium, they gave an 8.5 to, and Eclipse, they gave a 9. Anyway, so back to Monster Magnet. The article goes, if you're vaguely sensible and want a guaranteed good time soundtrack by ear-smashing rock and roll, rolling waves of Hawkwind-style sonic debris and lyrics about monsters, sex and sex with monsters like you do, Dave Windorf has been your man for 3 decades. Some may prefer the balls-out, go-for-broke cock rock of Power Trip. Others may favor the early days psych assault of Spine of God. And the case must surely be made for the quality of less widely celebrated but no less kick-ass recent efforts like Last Patrol and Mindfucker. Whatever your preference, Monster Magnet fucking rule. Do they fucking rule? What do you think?
I mean, from what I've heard, I would say they do indeed fucking rule.
On A Better Dystopia, they simply dip into the deep well of inspirations and serve up an illuminating and proudly non-obvious selection of songs that are each perfectly suited to the Monster Magnet treatment. Yeah, I gotta give them credit. Like, they really went off the beaten path with this. They didn't do, I just listened to the new Saxon. And have you heard the new Saxon covers album? Because that used to be on the list here.
I had not. Is it very like, oh, yep, that's Saxon?
Not only is it like, yeah, that's Saxon, all right, those Saxon guys. It's also, like, they were talking about obvious covers. Here, dig this real quick. Okay? So, here's what's on the new... Fucking hell. Here's what's on the new Saxon album, right? Hang on. Why does nothing I do work? I don't want popular releases. I want the new stupid album. Inspirations. Here we go. All right, so this came out earlier this year. Saxon Inspirations. Okay. Tell me if you've heard this one before. Paint It Black by Rolling Stone.
Once or twice.
Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, fuck. I can go without hearing that fucking song for the rest of my life.
Paperback Writer.
I don't know that one.
Yes, you do. Hang on. You totally know it. Damn it, I gotta... No, I'm not gonna play it, because then I gotta switch things. The Paperback Writer... You know Paperback Writer, come on.
Maybe if I heard it.
Oh, fuck you, Coop. Just fuck you.
I mean, I did break a bed last week. I've never heard that before in my life.
You've got to be kidding me. How have you never heard that before?
Who does the original?
It's the Beatles, you fucking cock.
Oh, I have listened to about like 6 Beatles songs in my life.
Jesus Christ, dude. All right, fuck me then. It's fine.
You pay me enough.
What did you say before? Is it time for story time with Coop? Did I hear you say that you broke a bed?
Yeah, I broke my bed.
Doing what?
A girl.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
You used to be Mr. Lonely Hearts. Now you're Mr. Fucking Butts.
Well, I mean, no. Well, there's a story involved with that too, but not this time. I mean, I'm still Mr. Lonely Hearts. I've just found a girl that I'm quite fond of, and she's pretty fond of me. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, if she was you can't have known her that long because, like, the last time we heard from you didn't have a girlfriend.
Well, I mean, I still don't, but
okay. The last time we heard from you, you were not the dating was not going well.
That's true. That is very true.
That was a week ago.
Huh? Well, I just probably didn't mention her.
No, wait. Maybe it might have been 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago. We went on our first date right before I went to Nick, who I should get on this podcast someday's house.
Shot myself in the head. Yeah, the last one you were on was Poppy. You were on the Poppy. And then we broke for a week because 87 people on the Radulich Broadcasting Network needed to review Venom. So Jesse was...
It wasn't fucking any good.
Please don't. No.
Oh, God. Did you like it?
It's not that. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. That was so 2 weeks ago.
I mean, yeah, it kind of was. Yeah, I had a coworker ask me, "What'd you think?" And I'm like, "I didn't like it at all." And he was like, "You seem like a movie snob, though." I'm like, "And?"
So I'm going to say this, and then we got to move on with the podcast. The last 3 songs here, and then we can get out of here. But the other point that I was trying to make was, I'm reading this review from Blabbermouth, and they're talking about a lot of covers albums. They pick the most obvious ones, and I didn't read off the other songs, but right off the bat, I mean, Immigrant Song, Paperback Writer, which the rest of the known universe knows, and Painted Black. Immigrant Song, come the fuck on. How many covers of Immigrant Song do we need?
Well, see, here's the thing: if it was a black metal cover of it, I'm on board. God. I'm not kidding. There is a fucking... I know of a black metal cover of Paint It Black.
I'm sure there is, because everyone's covered Paint It Black.
And I love that song.
Have you ever heard the Ministry version of it?
No.
Oh, my God. You can tell this podcast went a little too fast for my liking, because now I'm just finding reasons to do other shit. Hang on. Give me a second. Paint It Black.
It's a really catchy song.
It really is.
Maybe those Beatles guys could go somewhere.
That's why I was shocked that you hadn't heard it. I'm like, really? Everyone's heard Painted Black.
I've seen the movie yesterday, though. That was a very good movie.
There's a what do you call it? A documentary. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a Beatles documentary that's coming to Disney Plus in the near future. All right, here we go. For Coop, this is Ministry's cover of Paint It Black.
I see you break it around the All I want to do is have my kicks before this whole shithouse goes up in flames.
And that was Ministry doing the Doors' Roadhouse Blues.
I didn't know that song either.
Wait, whoa. Hold the fucking phone. You've never heard the Doors doing Roadhouse Blues?
Never. I know about 3 songs by the Doors.
It's like talking to one of my kids.
Look, I went straight from boy bands to like
Death?
Not 100%, but you get the trajectory.
Sure. Yeah, you skipped an entire generation of like classic, the base of modern music. And
I'm not going to lie, the over fucking playing of classic rock music kind of has strayed me away from really wanting to adventure more.
So this is the kind of conversation that I would have with Jesse that I would become infuriated by and then start sending him like playlists and stuff. Now I feel like I have to do the education of Robert Cooper classic rock.
Go for it.
Spend the next hour like, okay, have you heard of this band? I don't know if you've heard of them before.
Have you heard of Vanilla Fudge?
Have you heard of Nazareth? Now you're messing with a son of a gun. Now you're messing with a son of a bitch.
I don't actually know if I've listened to a song beside Hair of the Dog.
Okay, good. Glad we settled that. All right, you ready to just listen to the last 3 and then get out of here?
I mean, I do get paid by the hour.
No, you don't.
Well, not here.
Just ask Alexis. Nobody here gets paid. All right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know what? Like, I never expected to.
Well, that puts you a step above her. All right. The last 3 songs here are we got Motorcycle Straight to Hell, Learning to Die, which I want to keep saying is Learning to Fly, but it isn't, and Welcome to the Void. Here we go. All right, I really like this album, man. I had a fun time. Like, I'm so distracted now by your lack of knowledge of classic rock. I'm like, and I'm half distracted by that, and I'm half like, now I just want to remember the old days, Coop. We used to do the covers battle. We used to do an entire show just dedicated to different covers.
And then you quit because I kept winning.
No, I quit. Yeah, I quit because you and Jesse conspired against me.
I didn't conspire diddly poo. I think he just like pissing you off.
What happened?
How'd he do?
What did I do?
I said he liked pissing you off. How'd he do?
Oh, he liked pissing you off. I'm like, I thought you said like I liked pissing you off, and I'm like, when did I piss you off? I'm sorry. Like,
no, I'm saying
I'm not saying I didn't. I didn't realize I was doing it, so now I feel bad.
No. I'm saying that I think he was trying to get your goat, and it won.
Oh yeah, no, he totally like if the idea was to frustrate the fuck out of me for laughs, y'all succeeded.
And I mean, it was hilarious in retrospect.
Sure,
it's not for you.
No, for me it was incredibly frustrating. But no, it's so funny because I'll go back through the archive of the Blog Talk Radio stuff, and and I'm looking for and I've been trying to like backfill both stuff that never made the website but did make the feed and stuff that never made the feed at all for one reason or another, and I'll see like some non-specific album stuff that we did. So like we did a bunch of like years in review, and we did like a tribute to Metal Christmas one year, and it was all kinds of different stuff. Like we used to really do some really bizarre and wacky fun things on the Metal Hammer of Doom. But in those early years, like we just did cover shows. Like you would pick 4 or 5, I would pick 4 or 5, and then we would just kind of alternate back and forth. And then it somehow turned into a battle where like I think Jesse came on. I think the first time it happened, it was, I want to say the first time I came up with the idea of fighting you with covers, and it was like the Army-Navy show, where one of us was Army, the other one was Navy, and it had nothing to do with anything, except that one of us had to pick in the Navy as a cover, the other one was in the Army now.
Yeah, mine was Sabaton's in the Army now, and yours was in the Navy by Ailstorm?
Yeah, Ailstorm. And then we just picked a whole bunch of other stuff, and then like Jesse had to arbitrate between the two of us. He had the judge, and Jesse naturally he just liked your covers better, which pissed me off because mine were better, and I like that he was wrong, and then he made me regret ever saying that out loud, and purposely made it a point to come on the next cover show that we did, and was like, "Yeah, Mark loses everything."
He just kangaroo courted you the entire way.
He really fucking did. It's hilarious in retrospect. Anyway, like I don't know if I'll ever repost those shows, but I kind of miss doing them. And we didn't totally do that tonight, and we haven't done that for quite some time. We've done other covers albums before. Like I said, the last couple of years, I definitely dedicated it every single week to some sort of covers album or whatever. But I had fun on this show. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, I had a ball. You should totally re-upload. What was it? Trick or Treats Reanimated.
Yeah, no, that's on the list. That'll be up before the end of October.
The one where I got to educate you guys on fucking 80s anime.
My God, you were on that show? I remember doing it. I remember doing it. I remember doing the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra where we reviewed the Girls Just Want to Have Fun video.
Oh, yeah, no, I was on that. I ran that thing because you guys were like, I got no idea what any of this is. And I was like, let me tell you about King Arthur and the Knights of Justice.
Okay, you have my solemn oath that show, not in a featured spot, but that show will be on the W2M page on Halloween, I promise.
Yes. A winner is me.
The winner is, yeah, that's right. All right, that's it. That's our show. We're going to call it a night. And next week, so the Superblog team-up was canceled due to lack of participation for one reason or another.
So is it really just like, well, the guys that were going to do their shit anyways are going to do their shit anyways?
Well, it was funny because, like, he just kind of springs the Superblog team up on me, Chris Bailey did. And I'm like, yeah, I have no room in my schedule to do anything. So I'll just, like, reuse something that I've already done or that I'm already planning to do anyway. And that'll just be for the Superblog team up. And I'm like, oh, we're doing the new Halloween album, and we're doing it close to Halloween because I'm an idiot. So I was like, you know what? Then that's what we'll do. I'll repurpose the Halloween review, which came out like months ago, by the way, the Halloween album, I should say. And like that'll be for the Superblog team up goes to hell. And then he cancels it. And I'm like, okay then.
Well, I guess we're doing Halloween.
We're going to do it anyway. So next week, speaking of Halloween, we're going to review Ice Nine Kills, The Silver Scream 2, Welcome to Horrorwood, which is the single to the original The Silver Scream, which is basically like their tribute to horror movies. And then the aforementioned Halloween self-titled album that came out earlier this year on the 27th. We'll finally get to the Ministry album that actually dropped on October 1st on November 3rd. We're tired of it. We're going to break for the week of the 10th and the week of the 17th because I'm reviewing the Band of Brothers show with Andrew Graham, and I'm reviewing Wu-Tang and American Saga Season 2 on November 17th.
The fuck with.
We're breaking the week of Thanksgiving, but remember when we used to do these, Coop? We used to do the night before Thanksgiving turkey show.
We did Thanksgiving turkeys, yes.
Yes, and maybe the very first one we ever did was Saint Anger.
Oh Jesus, I think it was.
Well, that's getting re-aired on Thanksgiving.
Yay, Thanksgiving turkey.
And do you remember? Cooper? When you and Jesse took over the show because I was not available, and you guys did Celtic Frost Cold Lake.
Fucking Cold Lake.
Well, that's going up on Black Friday, which is also
good
Native American
did you ever
Heritage
listen
Day.
To that album?
I know I listened to the podcast.
It was a fucking black metal band. Well, proto black, really. They weren't quite black, but it was them doing hair metal when hair metal was out of style, and I don't understand.
Okay. So we're doing Ministry on November 3rd, and we're breaking for the whole rest of the fucking month, apparently. Let's see.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Just when I decided to finally come back, we're out. We quit. We're done every other week.
Yeah, every other week. How about the entire month? Because we're not back again until the 15th. But you know what the 15th of December is?
10 days till Christmas?
A very poppy Christmas.
Oh, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
That's our Christmas show this year, everybody. Metal Hammer of Doom, A Very Poppy Christmas. We're going to review her Very Poppy Christmas EP, and then we'll also review the Eat NXT soundtrack. I gotta get rid of a few of these because we've already done all the things she said. But we've got Fear of Dying and her EP Choke. So basically it's a bunch of like poppy EPs that we've never reviewed before, plus her new Christmas thing that she's putting out. So that'll be fun. Yeah?
I mean, I'm stoked. I enjoyed her last album.
So remember, do you remember, you might not have been on this show, so I don't know why I'm asking you if you remember, but do you remember I think it's the Swedish band that dresses up like dinosaurs?
Oh, you mean the one that I showed up to the fucking podcast having listened to the wrong fucking album?
Yeah, that one.
Yes, I did.
Well,
I
that's
listened to the wrong fucking Christmas Swedish dinosaur band.
Yes. So Heavysaurus Rahalista Jula, which is their Christmas album, that's getting re-aired on Christmas Day. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to relive that one. Just me being utterly confused. Like, what the fuck is going on? You listened to the wrong album. Ah, shit. You don't say.
And then hey, you get to be on a new show. How about that? You get to be, after the Christmas one, and then we take a break for Christmas. You get to be on one last show before the end of the year. We're gonna do selections because it's 7 fucking albums long. Selections from Lordiversity.
Oh God. I mean, I really enjoy Lordy, but 7 albums?
Yeah, we're not reviewing all 7. We're just going to pick a track or two from each one.
Were they bored during the pandemic?
The answer to that question is yes.
Obviously. Holy Moses. Were they like, Shit, now we gotta have people. I gotta have a reason for people to show up on the tour.
All right, go ahead and do whatever plugs you got going on in your world.
I think it's going to be airing November 1st, if Mr. Starcher is correct. He and I will be reviewing Neil Gaiman's Eternals just in time for the new movie to come out, which, unlike some people will constantly say, I don't think it's going to be a total dumpster fire.
No, did you see what I put in the chat today? That it's actually it's actually pulling in like higher pre-ticket sales buys than Black Widow or Shang-Chi.
Uh-oh. Somebody's not going to be happy.
Yeah, I've already done the I beat the smart kids bit in the chat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised that it is. It's one of those, like, am I super enthused for the movie? Not necessarily, but maybe after I read Neil Gaiman's The Eternals and review it with one Mr. Jesse Starcher, who I've now met in person, which was fantastic.
Yeah, how'd your Magic the Gathering nerd game go?
It went very well. I tried to convince Jesse and his wife to start playing again because they are literally sitting on like at least $5,000 in cards.
Either play or sell them, one of the two, right?
Yeah, I mean you could sell like he's got a City of Trade. He's got a Lion's Eye Diamond that's $700. The man didn't have sleeves for it. I was like, Jesse, here, please have this sleeve. Protect the card for love of God.
You sound like you're having a conniption.
Oh, dude, it was so like I was like, buddy, like you got to protect your investment here. But yeah, it was really fun. Had a ton of good time. His kids are really sweet. His wife is a very nice person. And driving down West Virginia in the pouring rain can suck a butt cheek because that was rough. Going down those fucking mountains in the pouring rain, I'm like, oh boy. But yeah,
right.
no, that was really great. And I need to ask him how that if they've considered it, because I had a customer walk up to me, no joke, and he goes, "Hey, you're the guy that plays Magic the Gathering, right?" I said, "Yeah," and he's like, "Hey, man, I just downloaded the app to play it, and dude, I've been addicted." Like,
how did he know? But how did he know you? Like you're not going to tell me that he knew you from this podcast?
No, he knew me from work. It was at my work.
Oh, okay.
I had like 15 minutes where the manager couldn't give me an override for his stuff, so
you started playing Magic.
Yeah, so I started talking to him about, yeah, man, I got a lot of money in Magic. He goes, wow, Magic the Gathering, I played that a ton back in college. And we talked about it for like 20 minutes. And while his wife was just sitting back there like, you're a bunch of fucking nerds. So yeah, I got him started back after 20 years. I'm like, oh, boy.
All right, rest of your plugs, go.
Butt cheeks. My friend Hannah has a podcast called Remind Me Why I'm Sober. If she ever does it again. Love you, Hannah. You bum. That's it.
All right. As for me, other than the Metal Hammer of Doom stuff, which I just went over, we reviewed No Time to Die last night. We dropped a re-air of Everyone Loves a Bad Guy, focusing on slashers, mostly Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, which was supposed to be Robert, Cooper, and Sean Comer. But hey, Sean Comer didn't make it to that show back in the day. We also did a marathon review of Midnight Mass. That was myself, Benjamin Colon, who actually pitched the show, Robert Winfrey, and Alexis Hana. Sean did show up for Halloween Resurrection, so that's in the archive. That's audio only because Sean was having computer troubles. We had a live stream. Like 400 people tuned into that, which shocked the shit out of me. Yeah, for like we're not Joe Rogan or anything, but not by a long stretch. We're not even like half the people on YouTube. But when we get 400 anything, I'm like shocked. So we had a fairly popular live stream of the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder 3 fight. That was Robert Winfrey and I, and then that went up separately as an audio commentary and a video. Just us, just a video literally of us reacting to the fight. You can't see the fight or anything, obviously, for legal reasons. Tomorrow, myself and Robert, who are you again? Ronnie Adams, that's the guy. So we've reviewed Halloween 2, Halloween 3, we've reviewed Halloween Resurrection, Halloween 2018. You know which one we haven't done? The actual Halloween. So we're going to correct that, and he and I are going to talk Halloween 1978. That'll be fun. It's actually the second time I've watched it my entire life was the other day, and I have things to say. Friday, I'm sure I'll drop something old that I haven't put out before or hasn't made it to the site or something. I'll decide then when I do that. There's a whole bunch of boxing up on the site now because I'm uploading a bunch of those old shows. So Canelo versus Caleb Plant is the next big fight, the next big pay-per-view. So I put up Canelo's fights with Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith and Caleb Plant versus Caleb Truax and Caleb Plant versus Vincent Feigenbutts. Those are all up now. Shakur Stevens has a fight against Jamel Herring for the WBO Super for the Junior Lightweight Championship. And so we actually did his fight against Joette Gonzalez from a couple of years ago. So that's up on the site now. And I'll be putting up more old boxing and new boxing as the opportunity allows. Saturday is the anniversary-ish of The Evil Dead. So we did a long road trip for the Evil Dead trilogy back in the day. That's getting re-aired on Saturday. On Sunday is a re-air of The Peanuts, and then David, Wright, and I, gearing up for Dune on the 22nd, will be reviewing the 1984 Dune with Patrick Stewart and company by David Lynch. What a fucking wacky movie that is, Robert Cooper.
You should ask my mom her feelings on it.
How does the Angry Metal Mom feel about Dune?
She didn't like the books actually, but she really didn't like that movie. You know what's even funnier? Did you know there was a sci-fi
Yes.
TV series or like a TV movie series on it?
Yep, and comic books and all kinds of ill shit. All right, that's it. That's our show. I want to thank Robert Cooper for hanging out with me tonight. Jesse couldn't make it. Jesse had a personal thing to do. We missed you, Jesse. And
He's got crabs.
So we actually have 2 more shows before we take very frequent breaks over the course of the remainder of the year. So hopefully Jesse will be back for those. Hopefully Robert Cooper will be back for those. And we'll see you then. For Robert Cooper, I'm Mark Radulich. Be well, be safe, and behave.